All right, we are live.
Hey guys.
How are you? John and Amy here with Hum Over Hustle, our brand new call series and site overhaul, really, and us overhaul.
Oh man.
And we're going to share all about that. So we'd love for you to comment in the viewer profile here and ask us any questions, um, anything that you want to there while we're going through this. Um, and we'll just have fun with this.
Yes. Yeah, anything
And
guys. Want to ask whatever yeah. And tell us who's on and yeah.
yes,
I know some people say tell us where you're from. I mean you could, but
yeah.
tell us what you're letting go of. Hustle. What's humming for you?
Yeah.
So
Okay. So what
okay.
is, we're going to jump right in. So what is Hum Over Hustle and why did we change the name for some of you that are wondering, and you've been with us on this journey for quite some time. We disappeared for a little while, then we came back. A lot going on internally, and we have a progression that's happened with our lives, just like you have, I'm sure, in many different ways. Um, and one of the things that years ago we started with, end of effort. We had I wrote a book years ago, back in what, '08, um, living in the unforced rhythms of grace.
Yes.
We talked a lot about advancing from rest. And just recently, we've, in fact, this year has been very, very immense for us in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. And we'll kind of walk you through that.
Born again like
Oh
a
man,
like
but it's
the
it's
old prophet
really
used to say, born again.
yeah. Um, we got this Eden download, and we'd had it throughout the years, but it never became more prominent as it had this year, especially on Kauai. And all right, somebody jumped at Janine, Eastern
Awesome.
Washington. Let it go. The pressure of the world.
Oh yeah. There we go.
So appreciate you being here. Yeah, and Eden is. We don't want any misunderstanding when it comes to this, although there will be. We're going to try to clarify this as best as we can. But when you're looking at a Eden, oftentimes in religion it points backwards, and that's not what we're talking about when we mention Eden. Eden is an atmosphere called the kingdom inside of you and I. It's the kingdom of God, and it has nothing to do with religion, but it has everything to do with Christ within. And so when we say Eden, it's an atmosphere just like it was back then at the beginning of time. Started out in a light body, started out without skin, so to speak. It was more
Covered in
crystallized,
glory. Yeah,
covered in
bodies.
glory. And then because of the breach or the fall, what happened? We got human skin that actually sweated by our brow and
Yeah.
sweat and labor. And so when we're talking about Eden, it's about tuning in, a retuning, not a returning, a retuning back inward into the kingdom of God, where
Yeah.
nothing is fallen, nothing is efforted. It's all effortless existence. And we are retuning back there, you guys. That's what this
Yeah.
awakening is about. It's not about a religious one.
Very because Eden never left, but they have been teaching a lot about that. That it never left because we all had fail. When the breach happened and the whole fall, and again, like I said on my prior video, we've been taught so much all about the sin part of it, but what happened was in her innocent, but was coaxed by the mimic, pull her in. You can have knowledge, you can have all these things apart from it. And so that's what caused the breach. And so it ended up, look at the day, you look at all this stuff, and you still operate in that breach current because we're knowledge, logic, all this stuff aside from relationship. And God is calling us back to the orchestration and it is a they were teaching us full past season about how through Eden God sent us forth. Everything is melodic, harmonic, musical. It's in the right side. what happens when we get so indoctrinated, we get into the left side and from here up, right? And so we lose the dynamic of the original language, it's harmonic, tune and match to creation. Wasn't like we were even talking with them today, Papa God, Christ, Holy Spirit, about what was,
Yeah.
like in the garden. Us to actually, he was matching flowers, like, oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it was tending to the right, tending to that harmonic flow. And so all the ever, that's where no matter how hard we tried in the world, it just didn't line up, right? It's like something was missing. And so this is my that's we are straightening beliefs that were taught to us and actually feeling within and retuning back what's back God's original heart and flow, and moving out of head into heart, moving out of our head into feeling. And even in religion, we were taught, don't trust your feeling, don't trust your desires, don't trust your body, don't trust all these things. Like about these sensors, they're sensories. Like how many of us always have, like, you get a vibe, get a gut check, that's your spirit within you, letting you know through your senses something ahead of time or something. So,
Yeah, so let's do this.
One moment, please.
Just talking to the side of it. I think you gotta.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. You just
eat the mic, like they say. Okay, how's that, you guys? Can you hear me a little bit better now? Talk to me.
Yeah, just let her know.
What do you think, Janine? Is it, am I coming through a little louder and clearer here? Or anybody that wants to pop on and let me know. So,
Yeah, anybody, go ahead and let us know if her mic
flow.
is working, but obviously.
The sound is distorted and rumbled. Oh. Let's see.
So what we can do, just gonna have
we'll have to just share the mic. Guys, so great to see you on here.
Okay, can you hear us now? Can you hear me now?
No sound.
No sound. Okay, I think we're.
Well, we could go to that
okay.
one.
No, I think we're okay now. How about that?
Okay, let us know, Esther. Anybody else? Fully silent. Fully silent. Even when we're talking. Oh man. Okay, because it's showing on our dial. Oh, good. Okay. Yay. Thank you, Ryan.
Sorry, guys. You know how it goes. You think you have it all set up, and then boom. That's okay. We'll get it straightened out for the next one. Anyhow, as long as you can as long as you can hear us now, that's good. So give us a thumbs up if you can hear us, because Esther still says it's
Oh,
working now.
good.
Okay,
Yay.
cool,
Thank
cool, cool,
you.
cool.
Okay.
All right. So
Awesome.
hum over hustle. The reason it's just like she said, it's harmonic. We've got some musicians on right now. Ryan's one of them, and I know that you all love
Yeah.
music. And there's a reason
And
why.
Esther's creative.
Yeah,
You
there's a
probably
reason why
play
music
music.
is international language, right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
language of the people, and it's not just a good saying. It's because we are harmonically created. And so if you look at your life like a tone, that's why we said hum. Anytime somebody's humming, whether you're a child or you're an adult, it feels safe, doesn't it? Not like if you're in a grocery store and you hear somebody humming, or
Yeah.
in a classroom, somebody's humming.
Or
There's
birds
safety to it.
humming.
Birds, hummingbirds, bees. There's a safety to it, and it's because we're all harmonic. And the hum over hustle, hustle is all egoic. And so we've come to realize and experience in our life that
Ooh,
hustle, side
awesome.
hustles, hustle in any way, shape, or form is just another attempt at survival to say that I've got this, God, I got it. I'll take over from here now. It's kind of like what was it? Wayne Dyer said,
Yeah, the first 9 months.
yeah, the first 9 months of your life, you're taken care of completely and entirely in your mother's womb. Why shouldn't it be that way for the next 90 years? Well, it's
Mm-hmm.
because when we come out, we say,
The
okay,
parents say,
God,
okay, God, I'll take it from
we
here.
got it from here. And so that's what the ego does, right? And in other words, in religious vernacular, it's the same thing as the flesh. The Bible talks about the flesh. It's ego. It's not a New Age term. It's what it is. So when we're in our harmonic flow, our note is not bent. It's standing straight up, and it's on pitch.
Yeah.
It's on
When
tune
we're connected,
when
right?
we're connected to the
Connected.
song of all songs. But when we our note gets bent and we get pitched off in life, we're pitched off.
We return
Uh,
to the bend.
you know anybody that's pitched off lately when you watch the news? Maybe you have been. Maybe we all have been at some point, right? But that's because our note is bent. A note is bent, and that's the ego. The ego wants to make you believe it's in charge, right? But that's been our survival this whole time in
Yeah.
religion
And
and
then,
everything.
yeah. And this is what's dissolving. This is what's so
Yeah.
cool. So, okay, you guys will hear us use phrases like the false matrix, the mimics. So just think of mimics. The old version is like the accuser and all that kind of stuff. Then mimics fits so perfect because isn't that what we go through all the time? Like, when we're getting mentally fought, it's just this mimic just and telling you can't do something and mocking you and all this kind of stuff. So that like the mimics. But what dissolves the mimics is when you just laugh back because you can see it for what it is and you start humming, you start singing. Singing music is one of the most powerful things to dismantle the false matrix and those mimic voices. It like scrambles the resonance, scrambles the wires, right? And so again, this is what's amazing. Like John was saying, it's a universal language. And I just saw that Janice, you said, I'm a Zoom voice teacher. See, voice teacher. So it's not by chance, all of you that are on here. And so, yeah, I mean, again, the Eden, the harmonics, we want to bring some really, really cool quotes to you guys that we've been getting downloads to as well. So about Eden. So we're just going to start kind of shaping this and show different facets of it. So
Yep.
Eden is not a reward, it's a remembered rhythm. And again, like I was trying to say when it got muffled, is that we are retuning back to what has been there. It's like been there this whole time, but we were asleep. As we know, we've been going through the Great Awakening. We were distorted in our
Yeah.
tones by our beliefs. And so this is why, as God's pulling us back to simplicity, back to our original blueprint, back to the beginning, it's just retuning. And so some of us have been so uptight and so tuned out. Well, we've been tuned out in a lot of things, but we've been so uptightened by religion, rigidness.
Work.
And when I'm talking about religion, I'm talking about the political part of it, where they've left the relationship part out. And so then we get dogmatic, we get rigid, we get my way or the highway, we get these egos in religion, think, I'm better than the unsaved, and so we're so uptight that the world's just like, I don't want that. I don't feel the rhythm of love. I don't feel the rhythm of heaven. I'm not experiencing generosity and kindness from them. All I'm getting is a Bible just thrown at me with words and that I should be in their building. And so Eden speaks for itself. Again, that is our homing frequency. So another great quote is, or did you want to share something on that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was just going to say that, we know what true north is inside of us. It's just that we've been conditioned to believe everything else other than the hum and the rhythm of Eden.
Right.
Eden, again, is kingdom. Keep remembering that. Like, what is the kingdom of God? It's alignment with your harmonics, alignment, and you're in harmony with the Christ within, with presence of God. You're in harmony with. Then the result of that is peace and joy because you have a relationship with Spirit of God. So that's paraphrased, of course, but that's what it means. And so Eden is that cool walk of the day, every day, in a alkalinity. Alkalinity is cool, remember?
Yeah.
Acidity, egoic, is hot. So
Oh,
hot-tempered, corrosive. And so when he
hard.
said, walk with me in the cool of the day,
That's a good point.
what
Yeah.
he's
Alkaline.
meaning is alkaline back in your unbent note.
Which brings fluidity.
Yeah, and not to get too graphic here, but those men that are suffering with ED, and you know what that is, they have bent notes. Okay, so what happens when you get cured of the energy deficiency, ED?
ED, that's what
You
energy
stand
deficiency.
up straight. You know what I mean? All we need to say there, fellas. So when we're in the hum of life, when we're humming, guys in my age group always just say, man, listen to that muscle car hum, listen to that engine hum, or Harley Davidson's, whatever it is, right? Listen to that thing hum. Why? Because it's rhythmic and it's harmonic in that motor. And anytime anything gets distorted, it starts breaking down. And that's what we've had in society. Look at the recent Charlie Kirk thing. I don't care what you believe about the man. He was taken because of distortion. Look at distortion in the field. So distortion in the field
wants to silence the note.
Yeah, wants to silence the note, not just bend it, wants to silence it. And so that's what the mimics, that's what darkness does, that's what the evil does. It tries to do in the world, is to silence the melody, the harmony, the flow in each and every one of us. But too bad, we are coming full circle. We started in a light body, we're going to end in a light body. So we're going to start seeing people light up like you would not believe, like literally glowing just like they did before the fall. We're going to start seeing it. Also, before she goes into another quote, I want to hear from somebody or any of you, if you don't have to give details, but just say yes, if you have had major financial loss at different periods in your life along your journey, major financial loss, major relational loss. Maybe somebody just walked away and you're like, I don't know why that friendship left. Health, any of those things, but specifically economy, economic, because we're talking about Eden's economy, which economy,
it hits all of them.
And it hits everything. So just say yes if you have experienced that, or make a few comments if you want. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Ryan.
And here's how we know this is true for most people, is because we've been around religion in the past long enough. Everybody was broke, basically. Not everybody,
and why is most that? People were broke. It shouldn't be, right?
Yeah, and because they were listening to the mimic in the conditioning and didn't even know it. They thought the devil was holding it up.
So it keeps you in fear.
To keep them in fear. They think,
now you're not a match vibrationally.
Yeah, everything's fighting them. No, you just had a bent note. That's it. You never get, the conductor never kicks the orchestra member out of the orchestra.
He comes next and plays to help you resonate and retune. But we've got to be receptive enough, right, to that, instead of quoting scripture and getting in our head, and I should do better, I should be better, repent, 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 right? So we just keep this crazy cycle going on. And all we can hear is the want inside of us. And all along, the Trinity is just playing, they're singing, they're wooing, they're trying to bring us back into the dance, but we've been taught It has to be hard work. Give up your life, die to yourself. All this stuff has been so
Man,
heavily focused on
brutal.
sin consciousness and works, and you're a small self, you're just a sinner, you were born into sin, all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, wow, it has been such a mismatch from heaven. It's been such a mismatch from Eden's frequency. And this is why there's been this great dismantling that we've been going through for the last, who knows how many decades, heavily intense, right? This last one.
Yeah.
And it's all to clear out all that old, get us back down to the foundation, to where we can now fully allow God himself to water us and help us remember to come back into the signature sound.
All it is
Eden.
a remembering. When Jesus came, he was, that's awesome, Ryan. When Jesus came, he was the second Adam, right? What he was doing is just calling into remembrance what was already resonant in every human being. And when Jesus walked by in his natural earth suit, people recognized that was home. It was Eden walking by. That's home.
Struck the tone.
And so the tuning force just went wing. And then because it did, people recognized and said, oh my gosh, I'm not leaving a 2-week notice. I'm going home. They left their jobs, they left their family, they left everything because they recognized something that was so attractive and so home-like that they couldn't help themselves. And so what was happening there is he came to remind us of Eden. He came to remind us, look, you have no issues. You are complete and made whole. You just don't realize it because you've been buried in programming and conditioning. Everybody telling you that you can't add up. Everybody telling you there's something wrong with you. Everybody telling you that you're full-blown wicked sinner. Everybody telling you that you can't add up.
Right.
That you're not worth it.
And then you know what this does to us, as you guys, I'm sure you know, and God has been so calling me on this because it was so ingrained and programmed in us, because we're feeling like some dirty sinner, or just like we're missing it, or we're not doing enough, or we're not good enough, or we've had so many setbacks in our life. So we come to God when we come to listen to him, quite often. We don't even realize we're coming to him in a tone of, oh, I hope I hear him. Oh, I hope he answers. Oh, maybe he's not going to answer what I'm asking for. Or we come in this fear of missing it, well, maybe I didn't do enough to hear God. And it's so funny. God's like, guys, pay attention to the tone that you're coming to me with. He goes, now change it into the tone that you hear me clearly, that I love talking with you, that it is a given for you to hear me because we're connected. And it instantly boom, like amplifies. Now you can hear. It's because it's a pitch match. It's a tone match. And so it's amazing. It's why so many things we've been unconscious to, that we were brought up in beliefs, is now being dismantled to where the knowing can finally come forth.
Oh my gosh. You guys, thank you, Ryan. Thank you for your comments. Let me just quote something else here, because I think it's super important what she just said, and everything that we're beginning to see around the world as well, is we are in an awakening. But many in the church believe it's going to come to like a certain denomination, or it's going to be a revival, or it's going to be something of the past. I'm sorry to tell you guys, sorry to bust the religious bubble, but it's not happening that way right now. We are in an awakening. Charlie Kirk, that kind of thing made people become aware, but that's not the awakening, guys. That's not a revival. That is just an awareness. It's an awakening. It's a self-awareness, and it's awakening. Like, oh,
yeah, it struck a tone.
It struck a tone,
right?
But what's really happening is we are retuning to Eden, and when Eden fully manifests on this earth, what we are going to see is effortless ability
and living
in everything that we do, because that's what Eden is. No work, no sweat, no toil for our money.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to give examples of that. We're going to share with you what's happening there to people. In fact, I want to ask, has anyone ever had a blessing happen to you? Somebody giving you money, some crazy door opens, something really that was a blessing to you that came out of nowhere, and you didn't do anything for it. You didn't sow any money. You didn't work hard for it. You didn't do anything. In fact, you may have blown it that day in some way, getting
Felt
in an
like a
argument or whatever.
loser.
And then boom, you get blessed with something. How many has that happened to? Just say yes. Okay.
I love
So Janine
it.
says yes. Uh, there's
Yeah,
others
Ryan
too.
said yes. Yeah, it's several others.
Okay. That, my friend, is a glimpse. It's a cookie crumbs on the trail to Eden. That we are going to see more and more and more of. Why? Why is that important? Because the egoic construct that hustles, grinds, and tries to work, 2, 3 jobs. We live in Hawaii part of the year, and everybody,
Oh
practically,
man.
a lot of people are working 2, 3 jobs just to
In
make it.
paradise. I mean, this is what's so crazy.
Yeah, and that is not working. That it's
Yeah.
killing us. It's
Yeah.
killing
And we've done it
society.
there. We've done it there. I mean, we've gotten into the land, we're working there, living there, and feeling what people are
Oh,
going through that so many people don't see when they're just there at the resorts and all that as well. And it's just like, wow, what an oxymoron. You can be living within Eden in paradise and just barely be making it,
yeah,
barely enough, and then dealing with such a poverty mindset. And so, I mean, you've got all those dynamics
yeah,
going on. You bet.
yeah.
This is
So
why
this
Eden
is
is
why.
needed more than ever. Disco black guys are.
Yeah,
Oh,
there we
there we go.
go. Okay. It's okay. It's the distortion. It's the mimics
Oh,
trying to enter in. So so pure grace is the atmosphere of Eden on the inside of us and around us, because we really, our spirit is not in our body. Our body is in our spirit. Science has already proven this. We are in it because our spirit goes around 15 to 20 feet precisely, or not precisely, but
yeah.
potentially 15 to
You can
20
push your spirit
feet
out
around us.
around you, of course,
So we're
right?
inside of our spirit. That means that grace surrounds us.
And what's so interesting about that is that there has been people that have seen in the spirit. Okay, guys, I'm just throwing this out there that because we've been living in this small state, the matrix, the false matrix, there is a bigger realm of God and of what we live in the earth. And we've been living in this small little section bubble that has been controlled by the false matrix and
Yeah.
the mimics and the powers that be. I mean, you could date it back to the archons, date it back to the Anunnakis, and then the ones back in the book of Job. You guys know what I'm talking about. And why the name's slipping me right now. But anyway, that left relationship with God. They wanted to take over power. They wanted man. And so have kept us in this illusionary living for
Yeah.
so long until now that we have been ascending and birthing and dissolving things and coming into the bigger fullness of it. And so that's what's so interesting, about how our lives mirror that as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You can focus on what you just see in the natural when there's a whole bigger thing going on in the spirit.
Yeah. In fact, work, if you're looking at work and being pigeonholed and boxed into that whole construct, that is entirely man-made because of the breach and the fall. What did God say? He said, look,
Control.
because you decided that you thought that ego was going to take better care of you than Eden could, then what's going to happen is this is the result. And we're seeing that all throughout history, where work is not, it's not even a thought in Eden.
Yeah.
None of it.
No, it's
So
identity.
the work, the quote unquote work, the tending to the garden, it wasn't a John Deere tractor. They hadn't been invented yet. He didn't have a hoe, he didn't have a rake, and he didn't have a pick or a shovel. So what the tending was is to maintain your hum, maintain your note so that it
Yeah.
doesn't bend.
Keep singing. Keep humming.
Keep walking in the cool of the day and the alkalinity of who I am. Keep nurturing that relationship, because the mimics on the egoic side are there if we listen to them. So if you listen to them, Adam, this is the result. And so we have that choice today. Eden is always there. The kingdom is always providing. It's always tuned in, turned on,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a jet stream that's always going.
But we got to match it
We
because it's
match
up
it.
here. So we got to take our plane and pull up.
That's right.
And align to the jet stream, where instead of just being down here. And this was another amazing analogy God gave me to the other day. You guys can relate to this. It is so easy. So when somebody plays, and for you guys musical ones, when somebody plays a chord on the lower register of the piano, right? It's like, and so you're automatically drawn to that. And so how do you get out of that is to play a higher octave, and it'll pull your attention. So what I'm saying is move into joy, move into these notes, and now you will begin to match it, and everything around you that's called to joy, that's called to come in, called to manifest, magnetism, will now match you at that tone. So if we're playing down in the lower doom and gloom, then everything that is associated with that tone of doom and gloom keeps happening to us. And so we keep wondering, why does this keep happening? Why do you keep attracting it? It keeps being drawn to the tone till you choose to say, enough. I'm moving into the joy code. I'm moving into the joy chord progression. And now all these chord progressions that live in this area are now drawn to you, and life gets a whole lot better. So this is what God is trying to teach us and bring us into, instead of us asking for it, fearing, you know. So
It's so true. And the joy of the Lord is our strength, right? So what I like to say is that the joy is the strength of the note, strength of the signal, the strength of the Wi-Fi signal, so to speak, or the note and the harmonic. And so joy or strength, so like a child playing, like a child playing, cracking up and laughing their head off. This is what Jesus talks so much about. The children. The children equals the kingdom.
Unless you become like a little
child, you will by no means enter. You will by no means stand your note up. You'll by no means become harmonic. You'll by no means have strength. And that strength is as simple as this, guys. The stronger we are in joy and in laughter and in fun, going out and playing, the stronger the magnetism, the stronger the magnet that pulls everything we have need of in. Now, it may not be $1 million overnight, but you may not, quote unquote, need $1 million overnight. It comes in daily bread, and it comes in waves, and it comes in trickles, and it comes in torrents. It just depends on the strength. So picture the Wi-Fi signal. It's like, or the 3 or 4 bars on your phone. So sometimes you have no bars. Sometimes you have 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars, right? So everybody's concerned. I need the 4-bar signal. I need the strong Wi-Fi signal.
For connection.
The connection. And so it's as easy as how long can we maintain joy in our life? Play.
Practice. I mean,
practicing
that we have permission. Guys, if we could have permission to do this, this is what's so crazy. Is we have been so programmed to be like, oh my gosh, if I relax, something's going to happen. If I let go, it's all going to fall apart. If I just treat myself and I go watch a movie and actually relax into that, oh, then I'm going to get behind.
I'm not doing.
Yeah. And so it's just nuts. And they've been teaching us, you know, I call it the hum table. You guys probably heard it on my other video. When I say the hum table, it is what I'm talking about. When I meet with Papa God in the spirit, I envision a beautiful table out in the garden, and Papa God shows up, Christ shows up, Holy Spirit shows up, angels show up, family members, whoever wants to come to the home table, and it's like a feast, and we all eat and drink and share. They can bring things like a discussion like family would. So the home table, that's what I'm talking about. And when I share stuff out of that, those are the analogies, the stories, the wisdom they've been sharing. So it's not like I take the time, come to the table and sing. Come to the table and receive. And so it is the oxymoron. It's like they say, the foolish things confound the seemingly wise. So what? To go and play, oh my gosh, that's going to change things. Yes, it collapses time. It collapses the resistance. Because if we're still trying to manage everything, manage our finances, manage the job, manage the house, manage all this kind of stuff, it keeps us so clenched. And God has no room to come in and actually supernaturally provide. And so when we relax and to play like a child with joy,
can you hear us?
Oh no! I'm not close enough. Can you hear me now? That's probably what it was, huh? Yeah. Now it's gone. Let's see. Any way to pull it over? Maybe we should just hold it.
I'll turn it up so you can, because you're talking over there.
Okay, guys, can you write in there where I left off? Did you hear the part where I was talking about the hum table? Let me know.
the same. But it's okay. It's just distortion. And
Can you okay? Can you guys do you recall what I was sharing about the hum table? Well, I'll just reiterate it again. Okay, so quite often on here, you guys will hear me talk about the hum table, and it is what I've created is a place in spirit. So some of you guys,
it's still distorted.
oh man,
Interesting.
I don't want this stuff out. Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can hear. No?
No.
Wow. It's getting crazy, you guys.
Testing. No. I mean, we're getting bars on our end on our switchboard, but oh, I wish there was a way. I mean, I could pull it up on my
Oh,
phone.
it's a little robot.
Oh, let me
Interesting.
could pull it up on our phone on the YouTube to see how it's coming across. That way we can actually hear. Stay with us, guys. You're helping. Thank you. Oh, it says better now. Volume is fine. Now it is great.
Interesting. Okay. So
Interference.
let's talk about that for a
Okay.
minute, because Janine knows this all too well with Zoom. Voice distortion. This is what happens, and this is a good example.
Shield this,
Okay,
Christ.
nothing happens by mistake. We know that, right? You just stay in the flow. Technology is technology, and you stay joyful, right? So voice distortion. Distortion is what happened at the fall, and that's what happened at the Tower of Babel, right? There was a voice distortion, and everybody because when you try to climb in any mountain in your own strength and in your egoic conditioning, anytime that happens, you're going to get distortion. So then the languages mix and nobody can understand each other. This is what happens when you have
Mixture in religion.
Mixture in the world, mixture
The
anywhere you look at it.
workplace.
Have you ever said something that was true and
Oh.
somebody looked at you and said
They heard it a different way.
They just like deer in headlights. They're like, and you said it very simply, you said it very calmly, and then they just went like, oh.
Thank you, Janine.
Yeah, isn't that great, Janine?
And Ryan.
And they just look at you and they're like, I don't even know what you're saying. What planet are you from? Like you could say the sky is blue, and they're like, huh? No, it's not.
No,
it's pink.
purple.
It's purple. Yeah. No, it's like they just look at you like you're crazy, and this is the distortion that's going on. But here's the beautiful part. Yeah, this is the split. Here's the beautiful part is, even though you're seeing all of this egoic outrage, this rage hitting the face of the planet right now, it's a purging. It's a disillusion, because people are awakening on the inside, even if they don't realize it or not. They will eventually, but it's pushing up all of that egoic conditioning for everyone to see. Now, there's different levels of violence, there's different levels of garbage and all that kind of stuff in all of us. But what we're seeing right now in the news and with Charlie Kirk thing and all this craziness going on is that very thing. If your note gets so bent and gets so distorted, then it will become highly toxic and highly confusing, because now you're not playing with the orchestra of all orchestras, even if it's in a different language. You know, there's an orchestra going on in Germany, going on in Australia, going on in France, Italy, all over the place, but it's singing the same song called Eden, right? We're talking about the kingdom of God inside, internally. But when notes get bent, then the distortion happens. Now, the grand conductor, like I said earlier, doesn't throw anybody out of the orchestra or in the trash. He just works with their note. He works with their tone. You know, everything's about tone. Tone.
Boy, don't we know that, huh? You guys?
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't matter the words, it's the tone. Don't we try to tell our friends and family that all the time?
Oh,
but
Lord.
Isn't that the evidence? It's the tone that it's said in. It's a frequency. It's a vibe. It's a vibration. And so,
yeah, so distortion just means, hey, I'm not hearing the melody on the inside of me right now. What is necessary? You don't have to go on a 40-day fast unless you want to.
Yeah, grace.
It's grace, pure grace. You don't have to go do some crazy kind of ritual. You don't have to go and do some kind of strategy, hustle to get into alignment. It's simply surrendering and allowing yourself to float back into the straight note. But listen to this. If you wait to dance until you see it, you're just a reactor. Dance before, and the blessing says that's where the fun is. When you remain in the dance, then the dance that happens is already going on. It's like Christ in you is already ready to dance 24/7. You just when you leave the dance, when you leave the dance floor, so to speak, in your tone,
When you get in your head,
and you get in your head, you're dead, right?
yeah, your note goes
Your
dead.
note goes dead.
Oh,
But when you allow yourself to float back onto the dance floor, boom, it's as simple as that. You're right back into the dance. It's
when you receive, right? You
we don't have to
receive your
go,
partner, which is the
yeah,
Trinity.
we don't have to go through all these rituals and protocols
Oh
and
my
processes just to be right with God. I heard somebody say the other day, it was very well known minister. He said, "Look, there's none righteous, no, not one. We're just rotten to the core." And just all these things. And he has huge bags under his eyes. He looks depressed.
Yeah.
And
He
I'm
said,
just
you're
like,
going to struggle all through
you're going to
life. It's
struggle.
going to be
You're
struggle.
going to struggle. And it's like, hold on,
Wow,
hold on
you're
a minute.
miserable.
Your note is bent all over the place.
It's all
It's obvious. And so we're beautiful human beings. We weren't born into wicked sin. We weren't born into sin, you
Yeah.
guys. We were born beautiful and perfect beings.
Yeah.
It's only when the distortion comes in and starts bending our note that
Yeah.
we get disharmonized.
Which
Did you
is
know?
sin's playing out of tune with your original
That's all
blueprint.
sin is. That's all sin is, you guys, is believing a lie about yourself
Mm-hmm.
and playing out of tune.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
So
The addictions come because you're playing out of tune.
yes. Oh my
You go and you
gosh.
drink, you go and you hustle and work harder and you strive more. You have your addictions, you have your little quirks, right? It's just because you are pitched off. That's it. That's it. So listen to this. Do you have any backup plans? Do you have any backup plans? Backup plans, you know what plan B is?
Oh, they're fear wearing a suit.
Backup plans are fear wearing a suit.
Wow.
Think about that. Backup plans are disharmonization with your true nature, with your authentic self. If you are doing anything inauthentically, if you're working a job and it's inauthentic, if you're in a relationship that's not authentic, if you look in the mirror and you're not living a life of authenticity, your note is bent.
Yeah.
You have ED.
Yeah. Ooh.
You have ED.
Which
Energy
is
deficiency.
Energy deficiency. Yeah. And even with the whole job thing, it all depends on what is striking a chord within you, the tone that you have when you have it. When you think about going to that job, do you just drop in tone? Or is your heart in a place where you're like, I am so loving this and I'm glad I get to be an instrument of change and melody and all this kind of stuff as well. And so if that's the case, then you can remain in it. But if it is so bending and constricting your tone, pay attention to this. This is again where we are allowed to hear our body. It's the sirens going off. Pay attention to how it's making you feel. Music makes you feel.
What we're told not to feel in the church.
It's just crazy. God says, I will delight yourself in me and I will answer the desires of your heart. God said that, He's into desires. He wants you to desire good things, Oh, it's just,
yeah.
But that false matrix and the mimic system operating through religion loses control when you do that. So of course they're going to teach a message as don't trust yourself. Don't trust your inner guidance. Don't trust anything. Be solely dependent on my words alone coming from the pulpit.
That's not, look, guys, you know this, and this is just 101. There was no denominations in Eden. There's no such thing as religion.
There was no middleman.
There's no middleman.
Christ came to show you, to help you remember that you didn't need a middleman, that we're all one, that you're all connected to God. We're all one big family, Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. So listen to this. You cannot hold both a plow and a parachute. One must fall so that the other can rise. Think about that in every area of your life.
So double-mindedness.
Double-mindedness. It's double-mindedness means having one foot in Eden and one foot listening to your conditioning. So double-mindedness is okay, I'm split. And this whole thing about it, if you don't work, you don't eat. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
When we're looking at Eden's economy, which we're retuning to, we know this with everything in us. It's like different people from around the world are saying the same thing. And again, there's no work, there's tending to the note, right? And so if you don't work, you don't eat. You know how many people bash you over the head with that? Like if you don't work, you
Yeah.
don't eat. Your
And
parents,
Paul
your
was just
pastor.
addressing lazy people. He wasn't addressing,
Yeah, it was
hearted.
for that moment in time to a certain people that just sat around and didn't want to contribute to the whole. And so they were mocking, they were becoming resentful, jealous over what people had, and they just sat and ate Doritos all day long. Didn't want to contribute. Well, where's your note going to be when you're eating Doritos and binge watching every day of your life all of these dark things, right? What's your note going to do? It's not only going to shrink up, but it's going to bend and it's going to become majorly distorted.
Yeah.
So
A
those
limp
people that
life.
say, when
A
people
limp
say
life.
to us, they go, well, what do you mean you're going to get effortless provision? It's just going to be handed to you so that just sit on the couch and do nothing?
Yeah. No, there's a verse that goes with
yeah.
that, guys. Listen to this. Not a verse, but a quote that they gave us. Rest is not laziness, it's strategy. It is weapon. It is worship. Rest, because there's no more resistance. It's absolute pure trust. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm seeing it is done. I'm resting because I know it's done. I'm resting because I know you're good. It's the good pleasure of God to give you the kingdom.
And so what do
He's
you
about
do?
pleasure and delight and rest.
So what do you do while you're in a state of rest? You create, because creating is resting,
Or you're dreaming,
or you're dreaming.
which is again harmonic retoning. So now, because you let go of that pressure, you're like a cork that you've been holding under. You've been holding your dreams, your ideas, your desires, places you want to go. You've been holding it, on the back burner because I got to work, I got to take
Yeah.
care of this. Nobody else will, And then you finally rest, and it can percolate back up, and now in comes the match, and it can start coming in really fast. Time starts collapsing for you. So it can come.
That's quantum realities
And
right
isn't
there.
that God's nature, you guys? We've been so brainwashed. Oh,
Yeah.
but thank goodness we're washing it off and coming back
Yeah.
home.
So here's a good one. Let's look at good old Peter. Peter out fishing. What happens? He's got an attitude. You can tell just by the way it's written. He goes out and he says, I'm going fishing. So he toils all night and
He was
catches
listening to
nothing,
the mimics.
catches nothing, right? And why is that? Because he was on the left side of the boat, left side of his brain. That's the analogy. He's left-sided in his brain thinking. Left-sided, analytical. You're going to be thinking rational thoughts. You're going to be thinking, I've done this before and I can hustle it out. Jesus comes along and says, right brain, Peter, right brain, right brain, right brain. No work involved. It's all creative flow. It's all joy juice. And he says, throw them on the right side of the boat. The fish were there all along.
Yeah.
The fish were always
They're already
underneath.
there in the quantum realm reality. All right there. But you had to tone match.
Tone match. Match the tone, Peter, with the joy technology. And boom, 153.
More than enough.
More
than enough. He surrendered. He crossed over. He rested and opened up. But what happened, right, guys? When he was striving, pushing things away, push, force, work all night, So again, listen to the tone in your body. Is it in resistance or is it in rest and receiving?
Yeah. And what happened with Jesus and the fishes and the loaves? What happened there? The disciples said it'd take us a year and a half to go out and sweat and toil to get out to feed all these people. And Jesus is like, no problem, because he's jumping around in joy constantly. He just gives thanks. And it could have been perceived as when he was asking for the fish and the loaves. It's like, what are you asking us for?
Yeah, you can create it, right?
You can create it. What are you asking us for?
Co-creation example. Co-creation demonstration.
And he's saying, look, I'm using something in your realm, right? The natural realm here. And I'm trying to show you something that you can do this with anything.
Yeah.
Have gratitude and thanks and joy, and watch what multiplies in your midst. The problem is with our intellect and our conditioning. We think that it's not that simple. But this is why Jesus kept using the references of the children. He kept saying,
Yeah.
look,
Yep.
don't push
You're
them
right,
away from
Ryan.
me. Don't keep the children away from me. This is the kingdom. And what do children do? They don't stress, they don't sweat, they don't toil. They don't run around going, oh my gosh, how am I going to get my next meal? Unless they're conditioned to believe that. Listening to mama and daddy saying they don't have enough money, we can't afford that. And so then they mimic it. And then guess what? Train up a child in the way they should go. And then when they're old, they'll be in poverty just like you are. So when they are little, they are having a blast, not thinking about dinner. They're not thinking about bedtime. They're not thinking about, they're just having fun playing. And this is why every time I want to, you could just comment, how many times have you went and just went and had fun, went and relaxed, went out in nature, and the thing that you were grieving over, striving over, or worried about and stressed out took care of itself?
Well, look, Janice just said, that's it. My husband said we're going fishing.
There you go. There you
There's
go.
the key. There's the key.
Go fishing. And
Go play.
Stay in the right brain. And that's creative.
That's what you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's the oxymoron of it, because you know, back in the day, I'm sure some of you guys remember John Bevere shared a story about how he was stressing over money, stressing over all this stuff, and God said, go play golf. Like, what? I can't go. This is serious, God. I need this resolved right now. And God says,
serious business.
Go play golf. Why? Because it lifted the resistance. It's joy technology, you guys. And this is amazing. Just like Jana's husband said, I'm going fishing, right? It released that resistance. It opens the field so things can come in. And now it's a joy match. And so, and it's same yesterday, we were getting hit big time. I especially was mentally, because of just we're pioneering through this. And so there's so many of the old belief layers coming off. And so we'll be doing really good, flowing in the joy and Thanksgiving and all this stuff. And then the mimics will start. Or you'll just feel it hit your body with anxiety or different things like this. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And you feel your tone start dropping. My tone would start dropping. So I remembered something they said. They said, if you will go eat something that you really enjoy that's sweet, it tells your nervous system that everything's okay. Okay, we're having something yummy now. Everything's okay. And isn't that wild? So, you know, I mean, I'm usually into healthy stuff. A lot of you guys know that. But you know what? There are exceptions.
Right.
Especially when it comes to the joy technology. So I went out, we bought my favorite ice cream, and I usually don't do dairy a lot, but that's okay. It helped. I went and had some cherry Garcia, Ben and Jerry's, and then John and I went, that's it, we're going to go have lunch, and we're just going to forget about all this stuff. And it lifted. It lifted me right out of it. And so it's amazing. Again, it's a choice shift to retune back to joy and pay attention. Oh my gosh, my note's dropping. Whoa, okay, retune.
Yeah, and it's so good because we think we have to work hard through everything. We think we have to do
double our
something,
efforts.
double our efforts.
Try to get out of it.
We have to do to get. But listen to this. Eden doesn't need your hard work. It needs your harmonized wonder. So when you're harmonizing in wonder like a child would,
yes,
and playing, you know, we're not talking about just play throughout your day. Have a playful mindset.
Yeah.
And then watch how things begin to shift without you having to intercede for it, without you having to rebuke some devil for it, without you having to go and you know, fast your brains out for it. Those are all works of the egoic construct. Those are all fleshly things. And I'm not saying fasting is bad. Fasting is actually good for your body.
Yeah, it's really good.
What I'm saying is if you're doing it to
out of fear, again, you'll be fasting and it'll be a tone mismatch the whole time. It's kind of like, it's so funny. It's kind of like praying in the spirit, where people that have prayed in the spirit for hours and hours and hours. And I often said, Lord, I know you're not into effort. And I said, what happened here? And he goes, well, they finally got tired enough of efforting that they let go of the resistance. And I came in and talked with them, you know? And again, praying in the spirit is beautiful. It's our original language in Eden.
It is.
And so, but again, how's the tone match with it? Are you like just singing in the spirit, praying in the spirit, and it's just beautiful? Or are you efforting, striving, finding, working from a place of fear and survival. And so again, it's a mismatched tone. And so this thing's so much easier than we've been taught, you guys.
Stop picking the
Yes,
flowers.
that's one of, yeah.
Stop picking the flowers to prove you love the field. Lie down in the grass and let the meadow bloom around you. This is why he leads us to still waters, green meadows. Why is that language all throughout, not just the Bible, but all throughout your spirit? It's because when we actually come to a posture of rest, a posture of play and joy, then everything around us begins to stand up at attention and go, hold on a minute.
It's alignment.
Now, there's one that's in alignment. There is one that gets the kingdom. There is one that's living in Eden and beginning. See, we're not trying to get Eden. You are Eden. Remember, it's an atmosphere. You, the real you, is the spirit that is joined in oneness with Eden. So we're not going back to get something. We're not trying to grasp something.
We're just remembering.
Letting things bloom around.
We're listening. Yeah.
And when we let them bloom around us, it's effortless. I wrote a book. It really was a dictation of a book called Effortless Provision. And over a 2-year period, because I was really struggling with finances, and just like a lot of people in the church world or religion, and I was struggling. I was like, what is going on? I'd get ahead for a little bit and then lose it all. Or I would make more money and it would be the same amount of money, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so every time I sat down, it was like, boom, Spirit of God just wrote through me. And I had an encounter each and every morning, each and every day that I sat down with Christ. And in that writing, what was interesting is the 4 main arteries of the human heart. He walked me through. It was like the heart of humanity. Some of you have read it. You know what I'm talking about. But what my point is I'm getting to is there's the artery of creativity. And that was in the final chapters. And when I walked into the artery of creativity, there's wild colors just splashing all around. And I was just like, my God, this is just amazing. Look at these colors.
Fun.
It was so much fun. And so Christ was walking me through that conversation. He goes, well, why do you feel that it's fun? And I go, because it just is. And he goes, well, this is the kingdom. This is Eden. And then he goes, when you create, you don't get money for creating. You get money because of your tone.
Yeah, it matches you.
It matches. So think about this. There's an artist, well-known artist called Akiana. And some of you know who she is. She paints these amazing paintings. And she said something in her documentary one time, and she goes, look, I don't wait for inspiration. Inspiration is waiting for me. Mm-hmm. It's inspired action. So creativity.
See, she matched to the tone.
She matched the tone.
She heard it calling her to come draw, to come paint.
Yeah, that's
Inspiration was waiting for her.
It was waiting for her. And it hit me like, wait a minute. She is not doing these paintings to get $1 million, even though that's what her paintings go for now. And then some. She was painting because she had inspired action, and she wasn't thinking about how much money can I get for this.
Yeah.
That's not how money comes, you guys. So anytime somebody's sitting there saying, well, let's do your side hustle and the grind to get some more bucks. So you don't have
second job, third job.
Get a second, third job. That is not what gets you money. Not from the kingdom. The Eden within you, the kingdom within you, the money that manifests and comes to us, in us, and through us is already there. It's hovering. It's hovering. It's waiting for the tone mat.
Right.
And when that happens, you're like, well, wait a minute. I was just enjoying myself painting. I was just enjoying the journey, doing whatever it is that you do, playing music.
And now somebody wants to pay me for it?
And then, yes, Ryan, I was just about to go there. Authenticity.
Yeah.
Is everything.
Oh, we love your comments, you guys. This is so good.
It's true. Authenticity is the tone that matches the field. And the tone that's struck like the tuning fork of authenticity actually opens the windows so that the money can come in, or the open doors, the opportunities, whatever it may be. This is why we can't figure it out. We can't, that's the intellect anyways. That's the ego. remember, how every time you get blessed and you can't figure out how did that happen? It's never the way it goes,
And
right?
God loves that, right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's
It's
because
like, why did we
yeah,
even try? It's like, give up trying to think that you can figure out how God's going to surprise you. That's the whole point. The moment we think we put our finger on it, he goes, "Oop, oh, really?" And then he brings it another way. And because it's meant to keep us in awe and wonder and surprise, like of each day. Oh, I can't wait to see what he does today. Like, really start honing and assuming that posture versus like, oh, I got to do the same old thing again today. Oh, and so then we keep getting the same old thing, right? The definition of insanity. But I love this, guys.
You got to hear this quote from them. It said, "Every step taken in delight is a landing strip for provision." Every step, because what did he say again? Delight yourself in God, and He'll give you the desires of your heart. So whether that be provision coming in, and so again, it's a tone check. Am I in delight? Am I enjoying something, or am I just miserable in anxieties and trying to do it all myself? And then assess again the religious teachings. Is it tuned to love and grace,
Or is it tuned to fear and works and law?
yeah, and this is interesting. I'm being reminded of as it pertains to work, because men especially find a lot of their identity in what they do. You hear two dudes that meet each other, they go, "What do you do?" Not, "Hey, I love your hair. I like the color of your shirt," like women do. For guys, it's a lot of their identity in the world. It's about work, and God's been dealing with me as a man for decades, because I'm a type A. I am the I am a portion or a fractal of God, but I'm saying this in reference to that. So I used to say, I am a type A. Now I no longer do, because that's not really who I am. I am Eden in a suit called anatomy. So as it pertains to that, though, I used to get her done. I could go out there and grind it out and work hard, as if it's a badge of honor to work hard. That's another thing that's dissolving as well. That's why people, when they lose their job and they're like, "Oh, what do I
That's
do
part of
now?"
the fall, laborious
Yeah,
labor and annoyances.
yeah. And so I used to say that and work hard, and then God sat me down and just said, "I want to have a conversation with you in Eden," and this was in Kauai. And it seemed like anything I tried to do as far as work wouldn't work. It just wasn't working the same. And he said, "That's exactly right, because I'm teaching you Eden.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you that it's not about work, it's about resonance.
Mm-hmm.
It's about tone. It's about matching
Joy.
that in joy. And you can be doing nothing, absolutely nothing, but holding that harmonic,
Note,
holding that
so
note."
that it all draws into, yeah, they
Yeah.
shared with us an example. It was just yesterday about the lighthouse. Remember? The lighthouse isn't jumping out trying to get all the ships to come in. It's holding the light and the ships are coming near it. They're
That's
like
it.
holding the
We're
tone.
cities set on a hill that
And it
cannot be hidden. The
makes
city
your
doesn't leap off the hill and go running after things. It just shines the tone.
Yeah. Shine the tone.
Shine the tone. So let your father's offer be honored, but not needed. Let your own hands be empty, but not desperate. We're talking about no backup plan. So that was, let your father's offer be honored. We've had offers from family members to kind of help, in certain times of need, and we just honor that. But we've been learning, especially lately, don't accept something that has anything that may be attached, even if it's in the right motive,
Or that lowers yourself.
or that lowers or bends your note at all. Just don't do it. The field will provide. Eden will provide. Let your own hands be empty, but not desperate. So that's I feel like that's a word for somebody right now as it pertains to help. You're asking for help. Don't ask for help. Trust, like Ryan just said. Trust through keeping your tone matched to joy as much as you can throughout the day, even if you fake it, guys. This is the beauty of this. You can fake laugh.
Yeah, and because it's still a tone going
It's
out,
a crack in
right?
the door.
A smile's a crack. Hey, there we go,
Crack a
and so
smile.
it adjusts the tone. And then your body's like, oh, we're smiling now. Oh, okay. And then it causes a magnetic shift. And it's just,
It's amazing. And this
oh
this
man,
is why we're just so sold on this
stay
now.
out of the brain, stay out of the head.
I'm telling you, and for the times that are coming, when institutions are collapsing, systems are failing, and they will continue to because they're not part of Eden. They're
Yeah.
all man-made,
False structures.
matrix, false structures,
Mimic
and they're
systems.
all going to eventually collapse. Where is your trust going to be?
Yeah. So that's why we're let's get on the bandwagon now. On the bandwagon.
On the
music.
Music bandwagon. Because it's the very substance that will bring in everything that we need without working for it. What happens when you can't work anymore? What happens when you're not able to go to a bank? What happens when, all systems fail and then you don't have all your survival goods stored up? There's some wisdom in that, to have some to give freely to other people.
Again, follow the prompts, right?
But
because God calls some to store things as prompts. But if God's not calling you to, then there's another prompt he's sending you,
That's right. But the more valuable and priceless is what we're talking about. It's the hum over hustle. It's the Eden frequency. It's staying in that tone so that everything that is around your life, every need, every want, every desire that is in line with your alignment and why you were sent here to the earth will be added. Seek first to keep your tone straight, and everything will be added to you. Seek first the kingdom, seek first Eden on the inside. That means joy, that means gratitude, that means thankfulness, and everything will be added when it's time and when it's needed. Just because you're in a day like today and you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to win the lottery, so I'm going to keep my tone straight. I'm going to keep my tone in alignment. Well, guess what? The lottery, it was designed out of the false matrix. The lottery was designed out of the egoic construct. It was designed over hustle. And so people give up their whole life savings to play the lottery. So what do you think that money is? That money is not in harmony with Eden. And so if you really
then the ones that win it, usually the ones that the saying that, not all the time, but they completely forgot about it. And all of a sudden, the ones that are like, I need this, it can just keep pushing things away.
Yeah. If you're needy, here's a word for somebody. If you're needy, you are going to keep things pushed away from your life. All good things.
And you'll keep trying to pull and reach
because it's resistance. Neediness is resistance. And resistance keeps things away that were meant to come in. When you become completely non-resistant, and that's what we're all doing, right? We have trickles. Sometimes we have rushes come flooding in. But we're just like you. We're awakening to these truths.
Yeah, we're right in it with you guys.
When it comes flooding in, you know that you are holding that resonance for longer periods of time. So it may trickle at first. It may come splashing in. You'll get a big blessing dose of something. Maybe somebody calls from the past that hated you. And then they just call us and said, you know what? I just feel like I need to forgive you. Boom. You were holding a tone.
That was provision. That was provision.
Because when you're in joy, you forget about stuff like that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because you're occupied listening to the music. You're in the hum. And again, all resistors go down. And now it's like a free for all of goodness that can start coming in. I mean, my gosh, we only got two choices, right? Live in fear and dread, or live in joy and wonder, and be amazed at what comes in. So it's just incredible. So anyway, more guys, to share and come.
Yeah, and we could keep going, but we went a little over the hour, which is just perfect. It's great. And we're thankful for the distortions during the video because it meant something.
Hey, we pulled something out of it. So hey.
And we're going to be doing these, weekly now. So there's a lot more to share, to talk about. We have some real life stories and scenarios in our own life. We want to share more of our journey. And hopefully you tune in. This is being recorded, so if you want to rewatch it or forward it to anybody that you think it would really bless and help to confirm things they're sensing in their own heart. We know that you guys are on this journey with us.
Mm-hmm.
Our goal is to have these live at some point. So we
Yeah.
will give a location and all that, as well as online. We'll keep doing that for people around the world. But
No.
we also want to do live because we want to do things like launch it parties, which are really cool.
Yeah, we
for
got a lot of
people.
lined up.
Yeah, we got a lot lined up there. So
So if you guys
um,
want to join with us on that, we do have a link for Funding the
yeah,
Hum.
right up
Keep it
there.
going.
You'll see a QR code in the video if you want to just tap
Yeah.
that, and then it'll take you to our contact link, take you to our site. If you want to join in on,
Yeah.
contributing and all
Contributing.
that,
Join with the Hum.
yeah, do all that because we are going to start a Hum Fund, and the Hum Fund is where we're going to help fuel and fund brilliant, awesome, heart-centered ideas for the
Yeah.
future.
Authentic voices, authentic creativity.
creativity, that kind of thing. So we're gearing up to do that, and we are just excited about the future. There is nothing to dread. There's nothing to fear, you guys. When you're
Oh,
actually, when you have this revelation and knowing that Eden's always turned on inside of you, it's just tuning in,
yeah.
harmonizing with.
So we're striking the chord for you guys out there. And I know you guys are doing the same. And so that we can all start retuning back to Eden. I mean, we all want this unity. Let's just go back home, right? Forget all the middle in betweens. Let's just retune back to the original note.
That's right.
And have a blast and start really enjoying life. You have full permission from here on out. So enjoy your day, enjoy that fishing trip. And we love you all, loved all
That's
your
right.
comments,
Thanks for
and
your
see you guys
comments,
again
guys.
on here.
So encouraging. All right. Stay in that tone.
Mhm.